Hello, welcome back to Everything Tumbler Tutorials. My name is Rebecca Escott, and today I'm excited to show you a very short, simple, and fun tutorial today. You'll notice that I've already painted my tumbler Vintage Blush, and I'm using a sample that was sent to me from BAMF Custom Creations for my ink. This is the only ink that I'm going to use for my wood grain effect. Not to worry, all the links used in this tutorial will be down in the description for you below. So for this wood grain effect, I'm not doing anything fancy at all. As you can see, I'm just going back and forth with my brush in an up and down motion just to get the effect. And because I painted my tumbler a vintage blush, there was no need to use additional inks for this particular project. So this particular wood grain does not get any easier than this. So once you've tightened up your desired look for your wood grain, you're going to want this to completely dry. Now alcohol inks do dry very quickly, but it only needed about 20 minutes to fully dry before moving on to the next step. So once our alcohol ink is completely dry, we're now going to take the Tack-It from Eileen with another chip brush, and we're just going to sporadically apply this from the top and the bottom, kind of giving it somewhat of a scattered look. This was such a thin amount, and it did not take long for this to dry. You can also put this in front of a fan, which will help it dry even faster. Once our Tack-It glue has dried clear, or is clear, not really dried, we can then move on to adding our glitter. As you'll notice, we're now pretty clear, so I am ready to add in the Beach Please from AB Designs, which is a gorgeous holographic glitter. I can see from where it's shiny from the glue, which is why I can place this pretty much where it needs to go. However, because this tumbler was not sealed and or epoxied, the excess remaining glitter just comes right off. So as you'll notice, I start to remove the excess glitter and I get overly excited and I start burnishing right away. However, you typically would not want to do this with Tack-It over top of your whole entire bottle of glitter, as you wouldn't want to risk contaminating it. I think we're just going to pretend like this didn't happen and just move on. As you'll notice, I'm going to continue to rub this tumbler down, get all this excess glitter off, and reveal that holographic. I really hope you're enjoying this video so far, and if so, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tutorials coming soon. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications for every time I launch a new video. Also, please be sure to check out my new Tighten Up apparel line that I just launched. If you happen to come across some troublesome areas, a friend of mine showed me that she had learned this from TikTok, and you can actually use a piece of your noodle to help brush away that excess troublesome glitter. This works so perfectly, and it doesn't remove too much. It only removes the areas in which you're struggling with. And when using this technique, it does not require a heavy hand at all. So once you have done burnished your entire tumbler, we're going to just take a makeup brush or whatever you have on hand and just wipe away all that excess glitter. Then we're going to go ahead and seal this really well with the 2x Gloss Clear from Rust-Oleum. This will help your wood grain from turning green when you go to epoxy. Once your clear seal has fully dried, we're now ready to go in with our first coat of epoxy. For my first coat of epoxy, I am going to be using the Fast Set from Counterculture DIY. And as always, make sure you use your heat torch to pop any bubbles you may or may not be able to see. Now that our tumbler is fully cured, you'll notice I've already started placing my flowers. I only wanted to put this in the wood grain section here at the bottom because this tumbler really did not need much. So I'm basically just going to show you exactly how I piece these together using the 12 by 12 semi-transparent design from BAMF Custom Creations. I was very careful when cutting out the yellow flowers, which is the only ones that I wanted to use for this tumbler, so I did not interfere or disrupt the other flowers so that I can easily use those on another project. So once I had all of my designs cut out, this was very, very simple to place and apply to the tumbler. The only key to this is that you want to make sure that this tumbler has been epoxied first, and that once you press this down, you want to use the velvet side of your squeegee to really make sure that you do not have any air pockets. If you do, you will see this once you've applied your epoxy. So just be sure to take a little extra time in pressing this down and making sure that everything is fully applied to the tumbler. Once I had all of my designs placed throughout the tumbler the way that I wanted it, this did not need to be sealed and was ready for its next coat of epoxy. I want to thank you so much for watching, and be sure to find me on TikTok under Rebecca Escott, Facebook at Everything Tumbler Tutorials for continued learning. Remember, all the links will be down in the description for you below. And a huge thank you to all of my YouTube supporters that have joined my membership program right here on YouTube. If you're interested, click that join button right below this video and see what perks works best for you.
All the time to get your mind right, but if you pull
So for this next coat of epoxy, I am going to be using Fast Set from Counterculture DIY for tutorial purposes. For its final coat, I did use the Artist Resin from Counterculture DIY, and she was completed.